What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to just kind of chit chat a little bit, and while I have time I can just kind of go over a little bit about me, and like I said, I'll explain my journey thus far getting into PTA school. And yeah, so sorry about this whole car deal. It's about time I like to talk and just think about things, and I don't have a good setup in here, so this is how it's gonna have to work. So anyways, I am, like I said, Alexis. I am 24, gonna be 25 in October, and I started my college career at a community college in a small town in Illinois. In 2012, I got my associate's degree in just associate in science degree there, and I finished in 2014. So from there, I was looking at colleges, and I ended up wanting to go to Bradley University in Illinois, and I got accepted. And you know how transferring usually works, you don't end up transferring pretty easily. So I ended up going there instead of 2 years, like 3.5, to finish out their requirements. And it was a pretty long, extensive journey. It was just it was a good school. I spent a lot of money to get that degree, and it was a bachelor's of health science degree. So I have a pretty good background, and I got that in May of 2018. So that was all fine and dandy, but then once it got time to applying to physical therapy school, that is a whole different situation. I wanted to go to doctorate school. I really wanted to go get my doctorate degree and be a doctor of physical therapy, but as a lot of you probably know, doctorate school is very intense, and it is so hard to get into. All the programs are very competitive, and honestly, it's not like I had bad grades or I did bad in college. I didn't at all. It was honestly not that bad. I finished with like a 3.3, and to get into PT school, you at least need a 3.5. But I've known people to get denied even with a 3.8. So it was just something that was kind of overwhelming for me, and my counselor at Bradley didn't really think that I was, my background wasn't up to par enough to pretty much be competitive along with other students. So I had to think of a plan B. And when I thought of plan B, honestly, I didn't know about PTA school for a long time. I figured it out like my later half of my bachelor's degree whole journey. So I was researching it, and I found a couple of community colleges that offered the PTA program, and I looked at their requirements, and I was like, well, I actually have pretty much all the requirements. So I said, let me go ahead and apply to one of these schools and see if I can get in. Maybe I can find a bridge program, which there's only a couple in the whole entire United States that have a PTA to DPT bridge program. One is in Ohio, and I was thinking about doing that one, but that's for a later situation. But you have to become a PTA first. So I applied to a community college here in Illinois, and there was a whole big situation with it's a point system, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a different video. But the whole point system was I think there's a lot wrong with it, honestly, how it's set up. But one of my biology classes, I got an A in when I took it at a community college, and then they took a combining of anatomy 1 and 2 from Bradley. I got a B in one, and unfortunately I did get a C in the other, but the B and the C, they didn't round up in points, so they both equaled 1 point because they rounded down to a C average for both of the classes. So instead of 8 points for an A that I got an anatomy class at my community college that they didn't take. They took the 1 point for the C average of the two at Bradley, because it was the most recent anatomy class that I had taken. So I talked to them, and I was going on and on because I missed getting into the program by, I think, 1 or 2 points, and that's all. And I was on them. I said, so you're going to tell me that I have to take, you know, an anatomy class, a basic anatomy class, like over again in the summer, again, to get an A that I already received an A in it, just because it's the most recent grade? And they were like, yeah, that doesn't really quite make sense. We'll give you the A for the following year. So they could have given me the 8 points originally. It was a whole big mess. So I should have gotten in last time. But I finally, this March, got accepted the second time around. I had to wait a whole entire year. And in the meantime, I have gotten a job last October at a outpatient clinic, and I'm a rehab aide there. I've been doing that since October, and I absolutely love it. I think, you know, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I feel like that job has really prepared me and really secured my, just made me my whole entire, like, it just made me know that I want to do physical therapy. I help patients. I'll talk more about the job if you guys want to know more about that, but I think everything happens for a reason, and I got that job in the meantime, and it's helped me gain so much experience, so much patient experience, and it's really helped form me as a person and who I'm going to be as a PTA. So it's been a long journey, and I'm finally here, and I'm so ready to get it over with and go. I have a countdown. It's a year, 9 months, and like 3 or 2 days. So who's counting, you know? But I just can't wait to be in the workforce and finally become a PTA. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to obviously follow along some more. Okay, bye.